Hi, I'm Tyler Moore, and to make a website, it's just 3 simple steps. First, we have to set up your website, and then we're going to organize your website, and then we're going to design your website. The first thing that we need to do is we need to set up our website. So we need to do the intro, which we've already done. We need to do the overview, which we're doing now. And then we need to set up your website name and hosting. Super easy to explain. Your website name is yourwebsite.com, and hosting is where you store all of your website files. After that, we're going to install WordPress. WordPress is the most popular and best platform in the entire world, and it's super simple to install. After that, we're going to log into your website, super easy, and then we're going to be done with the setup phase. The next phase is the organize phase. So we're just going to organize a few things so that we can begin designing basically. We're going to delete something called plugins, which is basically like apps or programs on your website that they include automatically that we don't need. Then we're going to delete the sample pages and posts. Then we're going to back up your website so you never need to worry about messing up. And then we're going to do your site title and taglines. And this basically describes your website to the search engines so you can get ranked better. And then we'll be done with organizing your website. And finally, we'll begin to design your website. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to choose your designs, and there's so many different designs to choose from. And this is just going to be your starting point, and you can mix and match different designs together to create basically any design that you want. Then we're going to get into the theme style. The theme style is basically all of the default colors and the default fonts you want throughout your entire website. And after that, we're going to edit your homepage. In here, I'm going to show you a whole bunch of tricks, basically like how to change your text, how to change your buttons, your backgrounds, your colors, background overlays, inserting new images, deleting sections, moving sections, deleting columns, the different spacing around everything, adding new sections, rearranging new sections, creating multiple columns, and updating your website. Once we do that, I'm going to show you how to make your website mobile friendly. It's already 99% mobile friendly, so it's going to work on your phones and tablets and everything like that. And then we're going to get into the about page, where I'm going to show you how to save a lot of time by adding blocks. Instead of having to recreate and build your website from scratch, you can use these different blocks that are going to save you so much time. And then we're going to get into the services page. Obviously, this can be any page. You don't need to have an about or services page. You can delete any pages or change it however you want. But in this section, I'm going to show you how to import an entire page from a different template. And this is super cool because you can mix and match so many different templates together to make your own. And then we're going to learn about the contact page, how to edit it, and then how to edit the form on the contact page, because you can have a contact form so that your visitors can get in touch with you super easy. All they have to do is fill out this form, and that form will email you to your email address, and you can start having a conversation with them in that way. After that, I'm going to show you how to put in a brand new page, so you can put in any page that you want on your website. I'm going to show you how to put in a projects page, but obviously you can put in any page that you want. And then I'm going to show you how to create your own logo or insert a logo that you already have. And finally, we're going to get into the header and the footer, which is just the top of your website and the bottom of your website, basically where your logo is and your menu links are. And I'm going to show you how to add in a cool button at the top of your website. And I'll also show you how to edit your footer. And then that's it. Congratulations, we're all done. That could have cost you thousands and thousands of dollars, but you're doing it all yourself and you're learning something cool. And we're going to be doing it all step by step with no steps skipped. So we're done with the overview. Now let's learn about the only part that costs money, getting your website name and hosting. Also in the description below, I have a website checklist where you can keep track of all of your progress, and it also links to each part of the video. I also respond to each and every comment, whether it's just a thank you or if you get stuck with something, I'm always here to help. All right, so let's begin. So what is your website name and hosting? Your website name and hosting are the only thing that costs money, and it's super easy to understand. Your website name is basically yourwebsite.com or yourbusiness.com, and Google's website name is google.com, and Apple's website name is apple.com. So that's your website name. You need something to type in order for someone to go to your website. Hosting is a little bit different. Hosting is a place that stores all of the information. So if you had a website name and no hosting, then we'd be able to type in your website name right here, but the website would come up blank because there's no place to store all of your text, images, and files. But if we had a website name and hosting, then we would see all of our text and images and files and everything like that. So it's super important to have hosting because without it, your website would come up blank. So this right here is basically what hosting is. It's a computer that's on 24/7 that holds all of your images and all of your text. And then those images can be displayed on your website and the text can be displayed on your website. Let's see a really quick example. Let's say someone types in the website google.com. So right here they type in google.com. That's where they want to go. Then that request gets sent to this hosting computer right here, and then this hosting computer that's storing all of the text and images sends all of that information back to their computer, and we can see that website get transferred back. So it travels from this computer all the way back to their computer right here, and then we can see the Google website. So your website name costs about $15 per year, and that's before discounts. I'll show you how to get a discount in just a second. And hosting costs about $10 per month, again before discounts. But in total, with all of the discounts and everything else, it costs about $30 for the entire year. And I think that's a really good deal to have your website spread across the entire world, operating 24/7, 365. And again, that's the only thing that you need to pay for. There are no extra costs for your website. All right, so let's get your website name and hosting. And luckily we can do that at the same place. All we have to do is open up our browser and go to hostgator.com. That's hostgator.com, and press enter. I do get a commission for recommending HostGator, so thank you so much. And I've been recommending them on YouTube for 11 years now. I can't believe it's been that long. I really like them because they have super great prices, and they have 24/7, 365 live chat, phone, and email support. But there are thousands and thousands of hosting companies, and obviously I haven't tried all of them. So if your hosting company is different, this tutorial might be a little bit different, but you should be able to follow along just fine. We can see these different buttons up here, but what you want to do is hover over hosting, and then we see these three right here, and you'd think that you would use WordPress hosting, but it just costs more, and we can always upgrade later. So what we're going to do is install WordPress on the shared hosting. So just click on shared hosting. If we scroll down, we can see these three different plans, and we can see it says $275 for this hatchling plan. But there's a trick. If you go up here and you type unlock, UNLOCK, and press enter, we can see that the biggest discount is unlocked. And if we scroll down, we can see that the prices have changed. And now we're getting a much bigger discount. So there's three different plans: the hatchling plan, the baby plan, and the business plan. The business plan is just way too much. We don't need all of these things, and we can always upgrade later. So it really is between the hatchling plan and the baby plan. The difference between the hatchling plan and the baby plan is that the baby plan offers unlimited websites. So you can have like yourwebsite.com, your friend's website.net, your mom's website.org. You can have as many websites as you want on this single baby plan. But with the hatchling plan, you can only have one website. But because most people are only starting off with one website anyways, I recommend getting the hatchling plan, and then you can always upgrade later. Unless you know for sure you already have two websites that you want to make, then you'd use a baby plan. But really the hatchling plan is everything that most people need. So we're just going to scroll down and click on buy now. Now it's going to ask us, are we registering a new domain, or do we already own a domain? You would click I already own this domain if you got your domain name from somewhere like GoDaddy.com and you already own it. But today I'm registering a new domain, so I'm just going to click on register a new domain, and I'm going to put in the domain name right here. And now it's going to ask us, do we want it to be ourbusinessname.com or .online or .site or .store? The most common is .com, so I would stick with that if I could. But sometimes your domain name isn't available because someone else already registered it. And in that case, you would either think of a new domain name or you would change the ending right here. If you're a nonprofit, maybe you'd want a .org, but we're just going to stick with the .com. Next, if we scroll down, it's going to ask us, do we want the .com and the .club and the .site and the .net? In my opinion, you don't need all of these. They obviously just want to make more money, but I don't think someone's going to like steal your business or anything like that. So I think just get one domain name as your primary domain, and then we can scroll down and we can look at domain privacy protection. So when you register a new domain, your information like your email and your phone number gets registered to this domain name. Then anyone online can look it up. And sometimes you might get a few spam calls or spam emails that are a little bit annoying. And if you definitely didn't want that to happen, then you would enable domain privacy protection. And what this does is it hides all of your information, like your email and your phone number. But in the spirit of saving the most amount of money and just knowing that we may get a couple of spam calls and spam emails, I'm going to uncheck this and I'm going to save $15 a year. Next, we can scroll down and we're going to choose a hosting plan. We already chose the hatching plan, so we're just going to leave that. And next, the billing cycle. This is where a little bit of strategy comes into play, because if we go with the 1 month plan, then our discount is only applied for that one single month. So if we go with the 1 month plan, even though we're paying the least amount up front, that discount only gets applied for that 1 month. So we're actually going to be paying the most amount in the long run. If we go with a 36-month plan, we're going to be paying the most amount up front, but saving the most amount in the long run. I think the perfect balance is the 12-month plan, where you're not paying much up front and you're saving a lot in the long run. And it's actually the cheapest amount per month of all the plans. Next, we can scroll down and we can enter in our email address, confirm our email address, enter in our password, then put in a security pin. Scroll down and we can enter in our billing information like our first name, last name, phone number, address, country, city, and state. I'm in California. Next, we can scroll back up and enter in our payment type. We can pay by credit card or PayPal. And don't worry, this is not my real credit card number. Then we can scroll down and it's going to ask us, do we want to add additional services? So for our SSL certificate, that's when you get this little lock up here, and we would think that we would need it, but actually this is advanced SSL. Your website already comes with SSL, so we don't need this right here. Next is securing your website. The beautiful thing about WordPress is we can download something called a plugin that will add extra security to our website. So we don't need this, and we're saving $36 a year. For professional email, your website already comes with basic email, but this is something that I would consider maybe in the future, especially if you already use Google for your other email addresses. But we can always get this later, so we don't need to worry about it right now. And this is site backup, so it'll back up your website. And even though this is a great idea, again, we can download something called a plugin for free that will back up our website for us, and we'll save $24 a year. Next is SEO tools, and while that's a great idea, again, there's a plugin that's free that you can install on your website that will save you $35 a year. So we don't need any of these additional services, so make sure they're all blank. Then make sure our coupon code is unlocked. That's the highest coupon code that there is. And now we can scroll down and we can review our order, 24/7, 365 live chat, email support, instant account activation, money back guarantee for 45 days. We are registering our domain name, and we have the 12-month plan or whatever plan you chose. And it says the amount is about $30. So anywhere from $30 to $40. Sometimes this fluctuates a little bit, but anywhere in between there is a great deal to have your website online and spread across the entire world. Next, we can scroll down and check that we have read the terms of service, and then click checkout now. All right, congratulations, you've done the hardest part, which is just decide that you actually want a website. Everything else is pretty easy after that. The next thing that we're gonna do is install WordPress. So just find any button that says install WordPress and go ahead and click on it. Then we're gonna see this right here. And it used to be super hard, but now all you have to do is click on install now. And now it's going to ask us for some information. Leave this as it is. Your domain name will probably already be selected, but if it's not, you can just select it from here. Next, we're going to make sure that this is blank right here. We don't want to put anything right here, because if we do, it's going to install it on yourwebsite.com/something instead of just yourwebsite.com. We want to leave this as default, whatever it is. And then we want to scroll down to our site settings. And for our site name, that usually is just your business name. Or if you don't have a business, it's just your name. Next is your site description, and this is something that describes your site. So for example, if you made logos and you're from Los Angeles, maybe you'd put Los Angeles logo designer. Or if you're the best math tutor in the world, maybe you would put best math tutor in the world. I'm just gonna put learn how to make a website. And for your admin username, I like to put my name. And for your password, I like to change this password to something that I can remember and just put it in right here. Then for your admin email, this is important, so we want to change it to our main email. So I'm just going to put in my Gmail. And that's because if you have to recover your password or something, it'll send it here. Next, we're going to scroll down, and for select language, I would recommend keeping it as English even if you speak another language, and that's because you'll be able to follow this tutorial much easier if you keep it on English. Then later you can change it. We don't need to worry about this. We can always do that later. We're going to scroll down and we're going to skip select themes. I'm going to show you how to do that later. And if you want, you can put in your email right here. It's not necessary, but it will send some additional details to your email address. Then all we have to do is click install, and if we scroll up, we can see it installing. So it's doing all of this magic behind the scenes, setting up databases and all of that stuff for you that used to be hard, but now is super, super simple. So all we have to do is wait a couple of minutes and WordPress will be installed. So it says, congratulations, the software was installed successfully, but has it really? If we go to our website right here and click on it, we can see that the website can't be reached. And that's because it takes your website anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes to spread across the entire world and let everyone know that it exists. So we're gonna have to wait 10 to 20 minutes. Sometimes it's very rare, it can take an hour, and it's super, super rare for it to take up to 24 hours, but it has happened. So I'm just gonna take a little break right now. I'm gonna close this up here, and I'm going to go for a walk, and I'll be back in about 10 minutes.